as supervised learning. Second one is spam classification. So here you can see that mails are there, right? And here one model is basically this one is the model, right? So in this, if you see that after we have trained this model, then we are feeding the new mails here, right? And it is going to do this categorical separation whether the mail is spam or not. So first we have seen what is this advertisement popularity. So selection of advertisement that will perform well, right? So we make a model, we train it, and we try to identify whether that advertisement will do well or not. Second type of advertisement popularity could be, a user will click that advertisement or not, whether that is click we refer it as clickability, so that is there or not, right? So these are comes as advertisement popularity. Second is a spam classification, which is shown here through this diagram also. So if you use modern email system, right? So many insurance company mails or some sort of training mails which you must have encountered, right? So the filtering of those mails can be done and it can be identified spam or not. So this is the training model which will be help to identify the spam. So normally this even Gmail does it for you. Gmail try to identify spam or not spam. So what happens many times that your important mail also are put under spam mail, right? Because different person is having different requirement. So you can enable the machine to be train and classify those observation into some class, and you can make personalized spam classification model, which will be based on your requirement. Okay. The third could be face recognition. So nowadays everyone uses Facebook, Instagram, right? So what happens that when you put a picture there, right, and it automatically tags your friends in Facebook, right? So that could be one nice application of face recognition. Like this face recognition is having many application. Why to go far? The mobile phone which is very much integral part of our life, right? So there also we use face recognition. So having a system that makes photo you need to find those photos, so like this, you can easily find n number of applications which uses face recognition. Okay, so face recognition nowadays are also used as attendance system. Okay, the one application. So all these three types comes as classification problem, whereas house pricing prediction comes as regression problem, right? So here if you see, this one is an house pricing prediction, means what? On basis of locality, on basis of, so when you came in Pune, right, and say that you are outsider and you want a rent, so you must have came across, okay, fine, in Kothurut side the rent is more. So what are the driving factors of rent or purchasing of a house? So it basically, that price prediction depends upon the locality, it depends upon the area, it depends upon the size of the home also. Like, somebody somebody wants to purchase 1 BHK and somebody wants to purchase 3 BHK. So that area will matter, right? And then after builder reputation, there are so many things which is going to affect the house price prediction. Okay, so these are the few applications which comes under supervised learning, right? So before I go to unsupervised learning, let me talk about the types of supervised learning, right? So can someone let me know how we can classify supervised learning? Any one of you? What are the different type of supervised learning algorithms?
Classification and regression.
Regression and classification.
Correct. Classification and regression, right? So here, what we can say that on basis of outputs, we are going to um, do it, right? So here is, classification, and this side is regression. So it completely, depends upon your output. So this is on basis of output. If output is discrete, then we are going to put it as classification, and if output is continuous, then we are going to put it as regression. So when classes are known to you, then we can, here classes would be known to you, no class will be there because we are talking about continuous value. For example, price of a house, right? So the example which I have shared in the previous day. So if it is prices, and we are talking about continuous range, it could be 63 lakhs, it could be 63 lakhs 10,000, it could be 64 lakhs also, 96 also, 96.5 lakhs. So like this, there could be infinite range. So here, number of classes would be finite in classification. Number of classes will be finite. Whereas, as we are talking about range here, then it is going to be infinite. Is this fine? All right. So everyone understand the difference between classification and regression? Quickly raise your hand. Any queries or questions there? Feel free to ask. Okay. So now let's go to unsupervised learning. So this unsupervised learning, we are going to provide the training with unlabeled data. Right, so we have just seen in the previous slide what is the meaning of unlabeled data. So what we have discussed, that if it is labeled data, then output and input both are known to us, but when we are dealing with unsupervised learning, then only inputs are provided to us and we have to perform some sort of clustering, right? Okay, so this is human expert doesn't know what to look for into the data. So we have taken the example where the teacher was acting as expert. They were telling you what to do, what output is expected. Here, just I tell you that you learn machine learning. I have not tell you the types of machine learning. So output is not known to you. I have just said, you just go through the types of machine learning, right? So the output is not known there, and that's why uh, unsupervised learning could be descriptive model, and the most common algorithms are k-means clustering. Then after here various type of association rule based learnings are there, whether you are talking about fp growth algorithm, or you are talking about algorithm, or you are talking about for example fp growth is there. Then after there is some a priori algorithm is also in this category, a priori algorithm. So what is this association rule? You go to supermart, right? And somebody is purchasing bread. Then what is the probability, or what is the probability that that person will purchase the butter also? Okay, so this is something on basis of association rule. So if he got x, what is the probability that he will buy the bread also or butter also, right? So how it helps shopkeeper or supermarket manager? Basically, they can identify the pattern on basis of those transaction bills, right? And they can place all these things nearby, right? So the segregation racks could be nearby, so that purchasing could be increased. So that is what is association rule. How a particular item is associated with another, that is all about association rule. Okay, so here is the example of unsupervised learning. So what I told you, that it is data driven something, right? So all the raw data is given here, and algorithms which are unsupervised algorithm. So unsupervised algorithm try to segregate this on basis of similarity and dissimilarity. You can see here, right? Some sort of pattern is found. Okay, fine. This type of shapes is put under one class, another type of data put under another class, and so on. So any type of recommendation system, all right? So for example, you go to Netflix, you go to Prime, and then after you're watching something, on basis of that, you get a list of similar similar day similar recommendation, like you get it right as per the thing which you are currently watching. And here if you see this recommendation system, we can put it in reinforcement learning also, because it keep learning by itself, it keep improving by itself, right? So unsupervised learning is something which is related to it is pretty much similar to uh, it is pretty much opposite, not similar, it is pretty much opposite to supervised learning, right? Data are not labeled, right? So if data are not labeled means what? Every property, important property or distinguished feature must be noted by machine itself. They need to understand. So we are putting some data, for example, some bottles are there, then after some fruits are there. So all these items will be segregated on the basis of the attributes, right? So what happens that in unsupervised learning, it learn by itself and it is going to organize them in a way we do, right? So there is a cupboard, you keep your shirts in one shelf, you keep your stationary things in another shelf, gadgets somewhere else, right, in drawers. So like this, what happens that this unsupervised learning try to segregate the data, right? So here, the second type of supervised learning, buying habits. So if you go to Amazon sites, you are looking for something, and similar types of options or a related type of options comes as an option, right? So that is another example. Now, buying habits, why it is as unsupervised learning? Because it simply identify the choice, on basis of the choice of the customer. It helps the customer to find the similar products. At the same time, it helps the companies to market these products, so that immediately the purchasing things would be increased, right? Then after grouping user logs, right? So not very much relevant, but many people use it. Many this helps companies to identify the central themes of the customer, right? And they will rectify those issues, improving the product quality. So that all these applications we can put as grouping user logs. So these are the various types of unsupervised learning. Now coming to the third type, which is reinforcement learning, right? So reinforcement learning, what it does, that it is going to work like an as agent, right? So agent are something which continuously learns from the experience. So we have talked about a teacher is there with you, who is telling you what all things you need to learn, types of learning, and everything is known to you. Second thing, I have given you assignment that you go and see what all types of supervised learnings are there, right? So someone can go as four types, someone can go with three types as per the resource, their resource material they are referring. So that we have put as unsupervised learning. Now, coming to reinforcement learning, where you have been put on an island, right? And there you are exploring by yourself, right? So, how to survive? You are learning from your mistakes, what to eat, what not to eat, where to go, where not to go, right? So, all these things you are learning by yourself. So, if you see this reinforcement learning problem, we need one agent, right? So, here is one agent, and we need an environment also, right? So, what happens that how these agent and environments are connected with each other? Basically, to connect the agent to the environment, we need, two things. We are basically, needs rewards, and accordingly, states will be updated every time. This simply indicates that, agent will become more and more robust with the experience. So this is the example I have given to you, that you go there. So the very first day you won't be able to understand how to survive on an island, but slowly you will learn it by yourself, right? So here, if you see, then environment to the agent is connected through three things, right? One is reward, and then after state and action. So reinforcement learning requires some sort of feedback, right? So basically, agent and environments are connected through feedback loop, right? So this feedback loop is going to give the penalty, it is going to give, and it is going to be deciding the behavior also, right? So it allows the machine to learn automatically, it allows the machine to find a particular behavior, right? And accordingly it is going to work. Okay, so the common algorithms, which are Q-learning, then after Templar differences, or deep adversarial networks. So adversarial networks is something where you uh, make a system. For example, your purpose is to identify the fake images, right? So what you are going to do, you would be putting the fake images, but at the same time your algorithm will be there to identify the real images. So you are working there for both the side. You want to make it so robust that it identifies that how a real images looks like, but your purpose is to identify the fake images. So that was like the other type of things, which is like chess game or self-driving car. The best example for reinforcement learning is self-driving cars, right? Or any type of robotics application you can also put. So here is the summary, overall summary. If you see, then machine learning, we have seen the three types here, but fourth type is also there. Semi-supervised learning, where the data, few data are labeled, few data are unlabeled. If you are getting like that, then for example, I am telling you few classification and a few things I tell you to explore by yourself, that we can put it as semi-supervised learning. So supervised learning, we have seen classification problems, right? So identifying fraud detection, or customer retention, customer will retain or not, image classification types, whether that is car, bus, or it is going to be cycle, something like that. So then after regression is the one which you can use for forecasting the temperature, as this is the continuous range, or you want advertising popularity prediction. So here this I can put it, advertising popularity prediction here also in classification. Depends what is your output. If I am just talking about whether a user will click the ad or not, so I will have two classes. In that case, I can put this advertising popularity prediction there, right? But if I am calculating the popularity of an ad on a continuous range, in that case I can put it as regression. Now coming to the second type, which is unsupervised learning. So this unsupervised learning is uh, again two types: clustering and dimensionality reduction, which you can refer as associative problems, right? So here for clustering you can use for recommendation system or customer type of segmentation, right? Or targeted marketing problems, whereas here you can use it for structured discovery, some sort of comprehensive like summarization. I give you one article, I tell you that you find the summary as a human. Similarly, we can develop one model which will go through the document, which will summarize it, or big data visualization problem will be also under this category. So that's it as type of the machine learning. Is there any question? Okay, if not, let's go through the simplest of the algorithm which you have learned in data science also, which is linear regression. What is done in linear regression? What do you know about this? What is linear regression algorithm?
We draw a line which best fits the data.
Okay, all right. Anyone else?
Ma'am, we have a dependent variable and an independent variable, and we find the relationship between them.
Okay, so I'm writing it here. First one, first answer is like draw a line. Two variables are there, dependent and independent. And you also want to come here, like ultimately we want to predict or we want to find a line which is going to predict it, right, correctly. Anyone else?
Data has to be continuous.
Okay, for linear regression it has to be continuous. Okay, see, data has to be continuous, I didn't get it. Can't we say that output has to be continuous? Are you getting my point, Siddhant?
Yes, ma'am.
Data could be like I make you understand with a simple example. Say that you are talking about this side is weight, this side is
Ma'am,
height.
dependent variable needs to be continuous. No?
Dependent variables need to be continuous. Okay, so weight and height. So here weight is like a person weight and height problem we are considering, and here you can take few samples. This one is first person weight and this one is height, like this. There are multiple samples, right? Okay, so here the aim is to draw a straight line. Okay, so from here you wish to draw a straight line. So multiple option could be there. It could be from here, it could be from here, it could be from here, like this. Yeah, infinite lines can go from here. Which one to refer? That is what we will come to know through linear regression. So tomorrow we would be talking this in detail with the least square method. What is the how do we calculate this line? What is slope? What is intercept? Then what is correlation? Like when we can say that two variables, we are talking about dependent, independent. So the one which depends. Then after we are going to try to find the correlation between these are the points which we are going to discuss tomorrow. Request everyone that you come with just brush up this concept so that few nice question is there which we can interact, right? So we can discuss those questions here properly. Okay, so is there any question? Any query?